Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. And without any ado, that is further, let's jump right into it. Stablecoins and Ether are commodities that should come under the purview of the United States Commodities Futures Trading Commission. This was said by the chairman of the CFTC, as he said this during a recent Senate hearing. At the Senate Agricultural Hearing, CFTC Chair Rosten Benham, was asked by Senator Kristen Gillibrand about the different views held by the regulator and the Securities and Exchange Commission following the CFTC's 2021 settlement with stablecoin issuer Tether. Benham replied, "Notwithstanding a regulatory framework around stablecoins, they're going to be commodities in my view. We have had rough waters surrounding not only the cryptocurrency space, but any type of ties or anything that we've had to do with the SEC. It is widely known, if you've been paying attention, the SEC believes that they control and should continue controlling everything, not some things, every single thing within the cryptocurrency space. The CFTC within the United States has disagreed, and they say that the vast or a large majority of coins within crypto are actually commodities and should fall under their purview. Why is this interesting? Because the SEC is full of psychopaths who for the last 9 months plus have gone on this really weird, odd kind of rampage against anything cryptocurrency in any type of fashion. The CFTC, which I think only has 1/6 of the funding of the SEC, announced many different times if crypto, for lack of a better term, came under their control or they were the surveyors of the cryptocurrency space, that they would have a very light-handed approach because they want the cryptocurrency space to be able to flourish. And this is the exact opposite of what the SEC wants, regardless of what they keep saying, how they, what's the famous SEC thing? They keep saying crypto won't something unless it has regulations, and it's yeah, but you're the regulator, so why not just give regulations so that people can be regulated and then we don't have these problems. Continuing on, he said it was clear to our enforcement team and the commission that Tether, a stablecoin, was a commodity as well. And this is actually quite significant for those of you who pay attention to stuff in the cryptocurrency space, because the SEC has announced that once again, not only crypto per se, but they also believe that stable coins are all securities, because why not? Everyone's a security. You get a security, you get a security, you get a security. And this is fascinating because around 2018, 2019, you might have remembered if you've been watching the channel, the people from Tether did something quite interesting, and they began to put fractions of Tether, the coin, on other networks. I think it's on Tron, some of it's on Bitcoin, a lot of it's on Ethereum, there's some on Polygon. I think it's about 7 or 8 different networks now, and that helps them to become more and more decentralized. And therefore, in the CFTC's eye, this is why Tether is also a commodity. In the past, the CFTC has asserted that certain digital assets such as Ether, Bitcoin, and Tether were commodities, such as in its lawsuit against FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried in mid-December. So this is mainly news because unlike other, basically the CFTC keeps coming out in support of crypto in their own way. They are regulators, but not the same kind of vicious regulators as the SEC, and they keep reiterating what they believe these coins are if things fall under their control as the regulators. So cool. It's nice to know where they stand more than anything, and I'm excited to finally get some type of cryptocurrency regulations in the United States in the year 2047 when Gary Gensler finally regulates stuff. So that's gonna be fun. That's the CFTC believes that certain cryptos and Tether are commodities. And yeah, let's move on. Also in news, according to an announcement, cryptocurrency exchange Binance has added an additional 11 tokens to their proof of reserves report. Around last October, I want to say October, November, somewhere around. No. It was December. October, November was the collapse of FTX and all the other nonsensical crap baskets that also collapsed as well. A lot of people, similar, if not the same, people in the cryptocurrency space realized that crypto exchanges also basically worked on like a fractional exchange kind of thing, and that, they don't usually hold all the crypto that they say that they're holding. We've had like mini crypto bank runs in the cryptocurrency space, like from time to time, but people finding out that crypto exchanges allocated their funds, so that is to say your money that was deposited onto a crypto exchange, sometimes, depending on the exchange, some of that money was used to trade crypto so that the cryptocurrency exchange could make more money, all this other stuff behind the scenes. Some of it was used as collateral. They didn't expect, same as a bank, they don't expect at any point that everyone will take their coins off of their platform, therefore realizing that something might be amiss. So Binance was the first company, and I think they're one of two, who announced that they would be dealing with the proof of reserves. And as of now, I think correct me if I am incorrect, but I believe that they are the only one who consistently re-announces their funds, how much they have, what's going on, what the audit says, and all these other kind of things. And that is to say that the other crypto exchanges are not, if you didn't get my hint. So apparently the 11 new tokens that they have added to their proof of reserves report are Mask Network, right? Engine Coin, Wazzer X. I haven't heard that in about 15 and a half years. The Graph, Chromia. Isn't that the thing with the eyes? Okay. Curve DAO token, 1 inch token, one of the worst names I've ever heard for a coin. Power Pool, that sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Hash Flow, SSV Network, and a normal one, and Dogecoin. With the latest update, Binance said it now has over $63 billion across 24 different assets in its proof of reserves system. The latest assets on the exchange include Bitcoin, Ether, and Tether, with around 12.7, tons of billions of dollars. I don't have to read out all the numbers. Although exchanges have begun, air quotes, adopting the proof of reserves method for greater transparency in the wake of FTX's collapse, experts have repeatedly warned users of the limitations of such methodology. These include a lack of information on the use of leverage, collateralization, and corresponding proof of liabilities, and cannot be revealed unless accompanying financial statements supplement the proof of reserves. For those of you who didn't get it, it's very easy for a company to be like, yeah, we have 5,000 of that coin, without saying what else is being done with the coin. This is one of the many issues the SEC had with, what exchange was that a couple of months ago? I don't remember. The SEC had a problem with some crypto exchange, and it was basically they alleged that customers did not know what was happening with their funds. And that might be one of the only things I've ever agreed with the SEC on. We need larger amounts of transparency. That's the point of a blockchain. You're supposed to be able to look at the blockchain and verify information. It's there, it's public, it's immutable. But when you deal with companies who are going to continue to be centralized, just always remember, as long as it is legal where you live, don't forget that you can self-custody. If a lot of this banking, cryptocurrency, proof of reserves thing at any point has got you a little jittery, don't forget, as long as you are legally able to custody your own crypto, you don't have to have all of it on one platform. You can spread it around. You can have a couple of ledgers. It'll make you feel better just in case one thing actually ends up collapsing. Not saying that Binance is going to collapse, but you understand. Don't Don't have all your pigs in one basket or whatever people are saying. That's the Binance has updated their proof of reserves with 11 more tokens, many of which you have never heard of. Mask network? Okay. Let's move on. Also, when people were kind of hyping this up, and I was like, oh yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome. A partnership between Web3 payment protocol Immersive and payments giant MasterCard will allegedly allow users to make crypto payments on digital, physical, and metaverse worlds once the transaction is successful from the user's end, that is you. USD coin tokens, a United States-backed dollar issued by Coinbase, will be converted to fiat and be used to settle transactions on MasterCard's network. So, one, I get it. It's about adoption. I understand. Not everyone wants to or can figure out how to use their cryptocurrencies in a timely, efficient manner. Not everyone is going to want to copy those long, gigantic transaction names and, the yada, yada, yada. Cool, I get it. This news is significant because it will essentially allow even more people on the planet to be able to use their crypto as a form of payment. I mentioned this all to you before thousands of times. You will see it happen whether you believe it or not. A lot of people are gearing up and are ready for the Ethereum next upgrade, whatever this thing is called. The idea is that, one of the many ideas, is that in the future, people who are early adopters of crypto, and even more so in the idea of Ethereum, will basically live off of, or basically staking will kind of be the future of passive income. If you have enough of X crypto and the price goes up, and passively per month you're making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, you're going to be living off of that money as opposed to having to work. This is kind of the general idea. But with a lot of that money kind of sitting on cryptocurrency exchanges, you've noticed these companies are kind of like gearing up for something. We've had so much news, and it's typically that a cryptocurrency exchange or another company has partnered with Visa. Visa has been at the complete forefront of the adoption of cryptocurrencies. I think MasterCard, I think they saw what was coming, but a lot of people from companies like this tend to remain relatively skeptical. And as we're now getting news and information and predictions of where these coins are going to be over the next 5 years, we're seeing these mainly Visa and MasterCard coming out like in support of and being like, oh my gosh, yes, of course, cryptocurrencies are amazing. They want the payments to flow through their systems. We heard that before from Visa about 2 months ago, who in a weird series of events announced that they had figured out a way for you to use Ethereum transactions. How did they come to this? They said, well, you can send money to us and then use it, and it'll go through their Visa system, and then the Ethereum will go to the other third party, the person you're sending it to, and it'll be completely frictionless. But you can already do this with the blockchain. Bringing it on back, because I'm not in the mood to get into like a rant of any sort. These companies are now basically trying to find ways for the average everyday person to understand that they can spend their crypto with them. Because if you send your money on a blockchain alone, who gets the fees? The people who are minting the coins and or contributing to validating transactions on the network. That's not nice for Visa and MasterCard and PayPal. So what do? They announce that you will now be allowed to use, so and so, and they make sure to throw in the word Web3 because it sounds more futuristic than Web2 to let you know that regardless of where your money is or how much you're making, you can use MasterCard instead. That's always like you always have to not even read between the lines. It's more so just watch this channel and I'll dig in deep for all of you to let you know what's really actually going on. The MasterCard Immersive Partnership uses decentralized protocols to settle real-time cryptocurrency transactions on outlets accepting MasterCard payments online. Make sure to always pay attention as well. They use the word decentralized to make you feel more comfortable. You feel like or are told if something is decentralized, it's almost like a safer form of banking. But decentralization is just mathematical. So if MasterCard has all of their systems inside of one building, that's the MasterCard building. It is centralized. If MasterCard is running nodes in every MasterCard office in the United States, let's say there's 16 offices, they have a node in every single one, mathematically, it is decentralized. You would need the head boss of each place to be able to give the thumbs up, but it's still all controlled by MasterCard. So look out for when all these words are constantly being thrown. Users will be able to use their existing Web3 wallets, futuristic term, to make direct crypto payments without relying on a third party for collateral. The direct payments happen on the blockchain. You don't need a third party MasterCard. Instead, first of all, it's actually 4 parties. It's you sending the money, Immersive getting it, it goes through MasterCard systems, and then it gets to the 4th person. Instead, Immersive will partner with a third-party settlement provider, there's 5, and allow its users to use USDC for all purchases. So it's you sending the money, it going to Immersive, and getting to the third-party settlement provider, hitting MasterCard system as well, because they're going to be collecting your data. Don't assume at any point that this partnership with MasterCard is not going to touch MasterCard's system. And then it gets to your friend. So they found a way to make cryptocurrencies as convoluted as the normal traditional financial banking system. It's these nearly the same exact wording as Visa. They make you understand that the metaverses are going to be huge. They're super futuristic. But wait, if you want to purchase something there, don't just simply use Firefox or MetaMask, have an easy cryptocurrency payment. Use our system. It has 5 steps. So like I said, I understand wholeheartedly not everyone on the planet is going to want to use and or self-custody their own coins. It's understandable. The world's scary, and so is finance. But pay attention to all these companies who are jumping on. The other thing that we heard, MetaMask, a couple of months ago. I think they have a partnership. Was it PayPal or someone else? Regardless, there's also another thing where they were all talking about that you can use this and you can use a credit card to pay for that. And I'm like, the moment you enter your credit card details onto these systems, they have your credit card information. It's tied to your address. It's tied to your account. They know how much money you have. They know what transactions you're making. Who do you think is absorbing that information? Do you think this is all for your benefit and your well-being? Do you think these companies desperately want you to jump in to buy as much Bitcoin and Ether as you possibly can for generational wealth in your family? Or do you think they want you to continue using the traditional payment rails, MasterCard and Visa, and making these announcements to let you know Web3, decentralization, the future. Look how progressive we are. Look at where we are. Look at what you can do now. Right. So just always be aware. Once again, I get it. But yeah. Let's move on. Also, this news was you would think people had never heard of this kind of news before. In the face of economic challenges around the world, Meta/Facebook, the social media behemoth, has announced that they are going to be cutting jobs to stay competitive and continue to invest in the metaverse. On the 14th of March, Mark Zuckerberg revealed that the company will be dismissing 10,000 more employees to increase efficiency this year. A lot of companies, you might have been noticed, they're doing it to kind of boost the valuations of their company. Here's the crazy part. You as a normal human being, and I mean normal as in like a good person, you would never assume that a company is, 1, going to be firing people, 2, firing so many people, but that 3, the bottom line, is the protection of the company. You hear these layoffs and you assume that something is like, this is terrible. Like the company must really be going down. Multiply 10,000 employees by around $65,000, $70,000, $80,000 salary per year. Right. So when you have those numbers and those people are being let go, this is why you hear in the news that a company just let go of 15-20% of their workforce and you see the stock going up? Is it? Yeah, see, it's terrible. Like when you actually think about it, it's like, that makes it actually even worse. So this has been very big news over the last couple of months. Companies letting people go. It's always very big in the cryptocurrency space. I don't know why letting go news is popular, but alas, here we go. I think some of it for Meta Facebook has to do with like Schadenfreude, kind of like a something bad happened to them. Facebook, the enemy, therefore I am happy. You know, the word is Schaden, damage, and Freude, happiness. So damage, happiness. But the other weird part is that like this news entirely coincides with this as well. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Meta is winding down support for NFTs on Facebook and on Instagram. I saw 9 million, if not more, articles discussing or talking about that NFTs were going down. I guess the metaverse really isn't working. Facebook is giving up on it. Around last summer, Facebook announced that you would be able to issue, create, and see NFTs on Facebook and on Instagram. And I made a joke that wasn't really a joke. It's more of a, let's be realistic. And I was like, no one's going to use this. No one wants to create and then like look at an NFT on Facebook or Instagram. Like there's nothing, it's another... the word's not symptom, but situation where companies hear the letters ICO, 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 and they go, we can do the exact same thing. There was no reason for there ever to be NFTs on Facebook. Nobody was clamoring or rushing to Facebook to make an NFT that I think they also could not sell there. This is why the most popular one before was OpenSea. Everyone was doing their stuff on OpenSea. Facebook is now at a point where not only are people not using it, but like it's become so culturally irrelevant that they're kind of just trying to stick to anything that they possibly can. The same exact thing with on Instagram. Like people are barely using Instagram. A lot of people are using other platforms now. So anyway, the news basically is that Facebook Meta is firing 10,000 people and winding down their NFTs on Instagram and Facebook. And it's not because like those markets are not being used. The NFT market is still very strong. People got into it during this hypey period. I'm looking at NFTs every single day. The prices are rising. People are buying. It's definitely there. It's just that it's Facebook. It's totally understandable that people just don't want to do business with Facebook because they're terrible. They lied to everyone, allegedly, for years about data collection and protection and just about everything else. And now they're trying to figure out a way to come back, but they're also losing billions of dollars in general. They still don't have a working metaverse. They have nothing. So I think them becoming Meta was like a situational thing where it was 2021, everyone's making tons of money, and they're like, hey, we can also do this as well. But nobody wants their crap. It's Facebook. I told you all of that before. The best metaverses will be those that are decentralized, that you can use without permission. You don't have to sign in through Facebook to be able to use it. Anything you do on Facebook's metaverse, your data will be collected. Understand that. Everything you say, everything you look at, everyone you talk to. Why do you think we had so much news about Interpol and these other like police offices or whatever and regulators making offices in the metaverse? Do you think that was something random? No, they want all of your information. They're already trying to gather all of it now in everything that you do. So yeah, no one was using it. It makes a lot of sense. It's the same exact thing when the New York Stock Exchange created Bakkt and nobody was, almost said backing it up. Nobody was doing anything on that platform because, there are other platforms that people are already using. That's the Facebook is firing people and also winding down support on NFTs on Facebook and Instagram. And that's just because they're garbage news. Okay. Let's move on. In news that also tons of people missed, but a couple people, we were talking about it on Twitter. Hello to all of you out there. Customers of Fidelity Investments can now buy Bitcoin through Fidelity Digital Assets, the Fidelity crypto platform. First opened to a waitlist in November 2022, it is now available to the public. Customers are able to buy and sell Bitcoin. Although they will not be able to transfer it to a self-custody wallet where the user controls their private keys. During the launch of the waitlist, there was a mention of this ability to come later, but no detail or roadmap has been provided beyond that. Going backwards. 1, just assume if you are using Fidelity, you're probably not going to be able to transfer your crypto off anytime soon, if ever. I'm just throwing that out there. 2, this is one of the most substantial bits of news that we've had in a very, very, very long time. Fidelity's not a random company. Fidelity's not just any investment warehouse. I couldn't find a word other than that in my head. I think that they're worth around like $11 trillion that they have in assets because now BlackRock is, I think, like 19 trillion or something astronomically insane like that. The fact that Fidelity has opened this up to everyone, and this was also news that went completely unnoticed because of the banking situation that were happening. There are a lot of people, now put your tinfoil hats on the corner of your ear. A lot of people believe that this, listen, a lot of people believe that all of this was done on purpose. I don't know how far I would go there, but a lot of people were saying that they thought, historically, you will never see a large company get openly into crypto in this way during, it's not a bear market, rather when prices are down. It's always when prices are ripping, everyone's going completely insane. Companies will then announce, hey, look what we got, look what's new, and everyone kind of runs to it. People were saying that they're doing this because there's now all these, you heard a couple days ago where the guy's like, what's going to happen to Bitcoin in 90 days and all these other, there's just so much going on at the exact same time. And then for Fidelity to actually launch this platform, I don't think people don't get it. And I want you all desperately to really understand like how much crypto has been purchased by whales in the last 2 years. As prices have been collapsing, how many times we've had whale news. To open up something like this, to have all these banks at the exact same time who are also trying to and have been trying to get into cryptocurrencies as not forms of payment, but like having people go to their platforms and buy them. Something really weird and significant and quite heavy is taking place right now. It says when trading, customers will not be charged a fee, but a 1% spread, which Fidelity has defined as the difference between the price at which you buy or sell crypto in your Fidelity crypto account and the price at which Fidelity Digital Asset fills your order. This spread will be visible in the clientele execution price, and this will, of course, only be available to people in the U.S., I assume. New York and Alaska. It doesn't say it here, but, you can kind of, just assume. This is gigantic news. People will only realize, and I say this nicely, that they missed out or didn't do as much as they probably should have only when prices are back higher again. When platforms like this launch, it's kind of, okay, I'll give it to you this way. It's kind of like when Robinhood got into the cryptocurrency space. We saw cryptocurrency prices pump because this was a very well-known company / institution who allowed everyone who had already been using their platform. Because a lot of people sometimes, not a lot of people who are using Fidelity or some other platform where they buy their stocks, they're not going to be like, I have to open up a Coinbase account, I have to do a Kraken, I have to, what's a Gemini? How do I find that? You can do it directly on your platform. So what happens, you might remember, when Bitcoin goes from 10,000 to 15,000 to 18,000, you and your friends or family, you're like, I need to buy some more. And the price goes up, the more people are buying, the higher the price goes, more people end up buying. What happens when Bitcoin goes from 15,000 to 28,000? A lot of people start buying. What happens when you introduce 100 million new people constantly when these companies are doing this into this ecosystem? You get prices moving up quite dramatically. Yeah. Very significant news. You now know about it. Just a matter of what you'll do with that information, because it's going to have an effect on prices and who enters the cryptocurrency market. And a lot of people understand that when people get into the market, they're not usually just buying like $50 worth of crypto. I had a lot of friends who got into crypto, and one friend surprised me. Hello, if you're listening. This was years ago. I will never forget this because I was like, what? I was like, hey, dude, you should definitely, buy some crypto. Just have something so that I know that if, in 10, 15 years, the market goes completely insane, you have something. And then I saw him like 2 weeks later and he was like, oh, I got some crypto. And I was like, cool. How much did you get? I'm expecting he's going to be like $150 worth of this. He bought an entire Bitcoin. And I was like, well, I didn't know you were balling like that. I had no idea what your situation was, but now I am well aware. So it's going to be one of those. Anyway, that's the Fidelity investment customers can now buy Bitcoin on their platform. So don't say I didn't tell you. News. Let's move on. Bitcoin just keeps disappearing. This has happened multiple times. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: American Crypto Academy, Martin Stoyer, Bodie McBoatface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, and let's move on. Empire Queen, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, The Dealers, Dan, Captain Summing in the Z-Way, Lay, Mobarazi, VB 21, Lauren De Silva, Quarter Biddy, Troy, All Good, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Pattern, Nostar, Navarro, Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman, High XRP, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Adam Graysig, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D Set, Suna, Paxis, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Jester Crypto, Anytime Fitness, Monks Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigera, Macho Nisa, and On Crypto with Lionel. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who left a like, a comment, has subscribed, is still here listening to me rambling on about the future. I am very worried about the future. I know a lot of people don't know this, but it's going to get rougher than it currently is. And I'm not talking about just inflation. I'm talking about the retirement crisis. I'm talking about the housing crisis. I'm talking about the everything crisis that we are currently in. And I think one of the very few ways that people will be able to insulate themselves from all the nonsense is by investing. So one of my goals in life is to make sure that all of you, either now or until the point when we have the next crazy bull run, you find a way to cash out and get tons of money. And hopefully, if you don't get to retire early, hopefully you get to take at least 2 years off of work and travel a little bit. Something. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.